What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one, and I just watched a movie called Immaculate, starring Sydney Sweeney, Simona Tabasco. I'm too mature to say what I want to say. I'm supposed to be too mature person. And Alvaro Morte. First of all, speaking of Alvaro Morte, fairly new actor to me. In the movie, he sort of reminded me of Tim Curry, the late Tim Curry. All right, no, he's not the late Tim Curry. I'm sorry, I don't think he's the late Tim Curry. But yeah, he reminded me of a younger Tim Curry in that movie, like something he would have played back in the day. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I've noticed throughout my whole existence of watching movies and films and studying these actors, old actors and new, that there are a lot of new or new at the time actors that are a lot like or turning into the old legendary ones slowly. And I have to bring it up because I noticed that in the film. So the first one I have to talk about and discuss is, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio and his transformation into Jack Nicholson. Now, this has been mentioned a lot of times. It's nothing new. Other people have mentioned this as well. And I just want to put it to the forefront because I can see it. I can see it. The man, nothing to shame him about, but he has gained some sort of weight since he's gotten older. He doesn't look like himself anymore. Nothing wrong with that. He's a great actor. And he's starting to emulate another great actor. Physically now. Physically, to the point where I think he could most definitely do a remake of a Jack Nicholson movie if he wanted to. I think he would kill it. I think he would nail it. He would nail the role. Any role that you have him do as Jack Nicholson, he would nail that now. All right? And it also helps that he was also in, The Departed with Jack Nicholson. That's when I most noticed that. I was like, oh, wow. Is that his dad, or is he not telling us something? Weird. Very weird. Hey, I digress. The next one I have to talk about in particular, Keanu Reeves and Chris Klein. Now, yes, Chris Klein is not well known now. He was back in the 90s or the late 90s and the 2000s with the whole American Pie franchise and other small little comedies and whatnot here and there. And it's a shame that his career didn't really blow up like I thought it was going to blow up. But while he was in his heyday, I noticed something. I noticed that, first of all, not that fantastic of an actor. I guess that's probably why his career, he's doing things. Trust me. And second of all, because of that and the way that he acted, which could only get him really in a lot of comedies, in my opinion, he reminded me so much of Keanu Reeves, a young Keanu Reeves, with the robotical acting and whatnot like that. And yes, and well, and maybe a softer Keanu Reeves. No shame, no dissing, no bad words towards him. Not like that. Not trying to discourage or talk down on the man as an actor, but I'm just being honest. All right, he's almost a pure clone of Keanu Reeves, in my opinion. Next one. Victoria Jackson and Krista Shaw. Now, I know. This is a random one, right? Because Victoria Jackson was way off in the 80s and 90s SNL cast way back. And you'd have to be old to know who that is. I understand. You're like, who the hell is that? You know who Kristen Shaw is. She does the voices for Bob's Burgers, and she was on What We Do in the Dark or something about the dark in there. And so she has her whole weird, quirky thing going on. You know her at least, right? She has this whole weird, quirky sense of comedy about her. If you've seen her on stand-up, you know exactly what that is. All right? And she has her own thing going on. Kudos to her. I like her as an actor, a comedic actress especially. All right? I don't always get through a lot of her stand-up, but it is what it is. Now, she always has reminded me of a younger Victoria Jackson. If you look it up, look at any movie she's been in, all her SNL skits, it's the same voice almost. It's almost the same exact voice. Verbatim. Verbatim. And so, yes, she totally reminds me of that. And she could also do something of, like a remake of something that Victoria Jackson did. She doesn't have to. Do your own thing. Be original, please. But she can make it work if she wanted to. All right? Next one up on the roster. Curtis Armstrong and Dan Fogler. Or Fogler. Whichever you have. Yes, once again, our old heads are the only ones that know what I'm talking about here. Because Curtis is the AKA Booger character on Revenge of the Nerds in the 80s. All right. This guy was always picking his nose and blowing snot and all kinds of nasty stuff going on there. All right. He was the gross one in the crew. All right. And he had the voice that sounded like this all the time. And he talked like that. And yeah. And when I thought about the movies that Dan was in, all right, in the way that he talks, he sounds just like this guy. He sounds just like him. And he was in Good Luck Chuck. And that's when it really came out. They're about the same stature, almost the same hair, almost the same face. I'm wondering about the relation between these two. All right. And so, yes, he also, if you want to do a Revenge of the Nerds remake, he's a shoo-in. He's a shoo-in for the part. All right. Automatically. All right. Another one. Last one. Natalie Portman and Millie Bobby Brown. Now, no, I don't watch Stranger Things. Sue me for that. I might go ahead and do that sooner or later. All right. Quote me on that. Do quote me on that. I will watch that. Matter of fact. Okay. But that's not the point here. I've seen her in other things, Godzilla movies and that. I've seen enough of her. I've seen enough of her acting to know and have this vibe that she is really a younger Natalie Portman. All right. Has she reached the level of Natalie Portman in acting? No. Let's be real. No, not really. No. Not close. But she reminds me of that still. Okay. So I'd like to see her get to those heights. Accomplish the things Natalie Portman has accomplished. You are on a great show right now. All right. I'll give you that. I've heard things. I can't say enough until I actually watch it, but I've heard things. But until you get past that and break that barrier past that show into other things, you're not there yet. Okay. But you have the look going down. You have that weird science girl, smart girl, didn't know she was that smart type thing going on. All right. Work with it. And now and what I've already talked about was, Alvaro Morte in Immaculate. And so does Alvaro Morte take on the image of Tim Curry as much as these others take on their images of the older legendary actors? We're about to find out. Let's go. Immaculate, for those who don't know, for those who are not aware, well, I'll be fair with you. A lot of you are way too busy and worried about what Sydney Sweeney did in the last movie, or what she did not do in the last movie that she was in. And you know what I'm talking about. I don't even want to mention it or bring it up anymore. Okay, I'm a little exhausted of talking about that disaster of a movie. Okay, so we're not even going to do that. But you're probably just still wondering about that. And, she was in Euphoria. I have never watched that. Another show that I'm going to give a try. I swear I am. I'll come up with something else, some kind of side thing or kind of videos to do that. All right. But, it's coming soon. Those for the series and shows like that. Okay. But right now, I'll let you slide. I'll give you a pass. All right. How about that? I'm going to let you slide. Next time, not so much. Not so much. Immaculate, for real. Pretty much about this young nun coming from America who comes to Italy for some reason. I think there are, nun places in America, but whatever. And she comes to Italy, maybe not, I don't know. And she comes to Italy to practice the nun, program. I don't know how to say that. And, she notices it's a little bit of some weird stuff going on at first or whatever. But, maybe it's the culture. Maybe it's a culture shock. That's what she thinks. And so she signs up anyways. And they get her in there. And everything seems to be okay. She's getting used to some things and how things work around there. And the fact that she can't speak Italian. She should have thought about that a little bit before she came down there. But anyways, so they get her used to how things go around there. And then she starts to notice the weird crap. The crying in the praise room. And then she gets in there and then they're not crying anymore for some reason. The other weird crap that's going on in there. Strange things are brewing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's doing a confession or some of the sort or whatever. And she's pulled into some kind of red room and she's knocked out cold. Wakes up the next day or whatever, and she's pregnant. Immaculate conception. And now she's trying to figure out, why am I going through this? What is the plan? I didn't have sex to get this. So why am I pregnant right now? And that's the premise of the movie. Positives. This movie most definitely has a strong creep factor. If nothing else, it's a horror. So I wanted to go a little past creepy and get to scaring the crap out of me. I would prefer that, but it was creepy. All right, like I said, she's seeing all this weird stuff go on. People getting burns on the bottom of their feet, scars, weird scars, so they can't just get up and walk. Girls getting tortured, tongues getting cut out. Okay, girls missing, girls having fits, just lashing out for what seems to be no apparent reason in the movie. She's noticing all this on top of the fact that she's pregnant all of a sudden for no reason. It's all kinds of creepy going on. And the reason that she's pregnant, when you find out the reason behind all of this is, it's like mad scientist Dr. Frankenstein stuff going on, religion style. Okay. It's all of that wrapped into one. That tone of the movie, that little tone, that dark tone, weird tone that makes you feel uncomfortable, definitely did its job. Okay, next positive. Sydney is definitely a free spirit. And I'm sorry, this is just the guy. I mean, this is the man talking to me. And I've already, I've seen how guys are going crazy over her in the other movie I won't mention. And probably some people just watching her from the show. I've heard it's a pretty wild show, Euphoria. And she's probably doing some crazy stuff on there. I don't know. But they're going nuts over Sydney Sweeney right now. And I understand she's a very attractive woman. But with watching this movie, there is a certain thing she's doing or just wearing in this movie all the time that just is showing a lot, enough to most definitely warrant that rated R rating. Okay, it reminds me of this whole craze that's going on right now with the girls in try-on halls and all that, with the see-through try-on halls. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah. She's doing that through the entire movie. Let's just put it like that. She's doing that one outfit that she's posing in isn't the entire movie. She never changes that after she puts it on. And you'll at least have something to focus on. If you can't stay up in this movie, that's going to have you up in this movie. Awoke. Don't. I'm not talking about that other thing. That's your personal thing going on with you. I can't blame you. But no, it's very distracting. Not gonna lie, and doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt the movie. It doesn't hurt the movie. Moving on. Last positive. The mystery of this movie and what's going on, what's really going on, is what really kept me in the movie. It was what really had my attention the entire time. Like, why was she impregnated? What was the Immaculate Conception all about? What is the plot behind this? What is really going on? And so I definitely wanted to stay up and see what the end would bring to us, because I know you had to reveal what's going on in the end of this process. Most definitely. You can't get around that. It's almost impossible to not tell us what's going on. And there's certain hints that the girls that would run out and try to escape, once you're in there, you can't go. Let's put it like that. Once you're in there, you cannot leave. And so when girls try to escape or they go against the rules, it's torture. It's immediate torture for them. All right. They automatically are tortured. And so that was interesting to see that how far they would go just to make sure they get the right girl to, carry this whatever is going on, demon kid or whatever the hell is going on. Right. So I was really in there for that reveal throughout the entire movie. Okay. Negatives. They could have pushed the envelope a little harder. All right. Now, I commend Sydney Sweeney for, wearing what she wore. I mean, that's what everybody else was wearing too. To be fair, everybody else was wearing that. But there was other things in the movie that you would think would happen, because the kind of crap that they were already doing in this place, in this church, or whatever, this nunnery. I don't know what it's called. It's a nunnery. I don't know. But in this facility, there was strange things going on. So why would it not go to this level? I'm not trying to cheer it on, but we all know these priests in situations like this, they don't have any limits. They don't have any limits. Okay, they're gonna try to do other stuff to the people they're looking over. It's sad and it's sick and it shouldn't be, but it's realistic. It's more realistic, okay, within a movie like this to see something go on like that. You're holding back. You're holding back what really, some of the things that really should be going on as well. It would seem like with this much control over these nuns, you know they're going to be trying to do that weird stuff, okay? Weirder than what they were already doing. But, you know, they kind of sugarcoated that part a little bit, you know? Anyways, another negative. Sydney Sweeney's not that great of an actress. Yes, she's bold. She's bold as hell. I'll give her that. But a fantastic actress? No. So I don't see the hype in that area. But yeah, she's a very good looking girl. She's hot. She's hot. Yes, and she knows it, and she carries herself in a free way to there's no, no inhibitions or whatever. There's nothing holding her back on that, on showing what she wants to show with her body and whatnot. But her acting is horrible. It's nothing to it. There's nothing to her acting at all. It's almost blank. And she's just riding off of her looks in this case. All right. This is what I'm just getting from this movie alone. In the other one, there wasn't much going on either. It wasn't much going on with anybody in that movie, but it's with her. No. So I know that's not why she was, being, sought after so hard. But no, she's just not a great actress, man. She still needs to prove herself, in my opinion. She's got a lot of proving to do. Okay, there are other girls they could have picked to really send this movie through to where what they were planning to get out of this from the audience reaction. Cause she ain't doing it, man. She's not doing it. Not with that. Not with the acting. Okay? It's not there. It's not there. Last negative. Common sense is not a factor in this movie from the beginning, unfortunately, to the end. In the beginning, is a little prequel scene of something that happens back in the day at this same nun place, and some girl tried to escape, and she got up, and while she was trying to escape, she was trying to tiptoe around this one old nun. I thought there was just one, and she's making all this loud noise. They heard you. They obviously heard you the entire time, trying to get up and get the hell up out of there. You are not sneaky. If that was sneaky, that's not sneaky. Okay, they heard you. You deserve what you got. Not gonna say much more after that. You deserve everything on that one. Okay, so I don't understand that part. There was what you were making all that damn noise the entire time. Then later on in the movie, towards the end, she's getting out and she fights the head priest, played by Alvaro, and within the fight, okay. Spoiler alert. She throws some gasoline or whatever the hell in the room that he's locked in, and the whole room explodes. Okay, it bursts into flames. How did he survive this? How? He's not supernatural. Other things are going on. I won't say anything about that, but he's not supernatural. He is not. It was ridiculous at that point. But I'm going to give this an cool. Yes, and cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie, somewhat. It was interesting, but it didn't hit the mark completely. Press that like button, share. You better subscribe.